John, you must be over the moon with the start of the season.
Yeah, we started really well, obviously. 3 wins out of 4 in the league, especially, going through a transfer window. You end the transfer window, you want players in early. We've done a lot of signings, so yeah, to help everyone settle in and to start so well, it's credit to everyone involved, including the recruitment, admin, and coaching staff especially. They had a good pre-season with patterns of play and everything you need to get into the players. So yeah, we've started how we mean to go on.
The points are obviously fantastic, but what have you seen in those matches that's really encouraged you?
Just a style of playing, patterns that we're working on. You see it out in training against what probably you don't see as a supporter, but you get to see that day in, day out what they're working on in training, in and out of possession, and the work that goes on, and seeing that come off in the games is great. But also players integrating into a squad and getting that development of players through there, and we've got a big squad now, so it's rotation of players and being able to change games as well, and having the ability to be able to do that.
What one thing have you seen has brought you the most joy? Has there been like a little pass? Has there been a little way that two people have worked together? What has brought you the
3 points always bring me joy.
Come on!
No, 3. It's a difficult one. No, it's just good to see because you believe in the players you bring in. A lot of work goes into that, and that behind the scenes work. And it's not just the player on the pitch, but you get to see the other part of it, the families when they come in and show them what it means, and then you see them on the pitch perform and get that sense of joy. And it's hard watching it as a fan because you're not involved, not just a fan, but working at the club, but you can't directly impact it. But all together as one, it's great to see, and we're only off to a good start. There's a long way to go yet, but to be able to start so well, I think we've laid our marker down now to ourselves, but the league as well, to say we're here and got a good squad, strong spirit, and it's a chance for the coaching staff to work with the team. I think when they came in, it was survival mode. I think we had a bit of that where it was difficult. It's just about getting over the line and getting the points needed with a threadbare squad, because we had a lot of injuries as well. So to have players in and be able to work and build with it, that's really satisfying to see. I've said it since day one to come in, you want to get fans off the seats, and Stoke is action. It's shots, crosses, wingers, people making the box, goals. That's what we want to see, and grit and determination on the pitch. But as an attacking player, that's what I want to see. I'm all about that all the time.
You can't shake that off, can you?
No, and fans want to see it as well. You want to come to a game and be bored. You want to come to a game and see what Stoke's about, and represent them on the pitch as well. So you have that grit and steel, and players that will fight for the club and really fight for it. But you want to see that little bit of quality in there, and as a player, there's nothing better than those teams you played in, where you can match them both ends. A team try and outfight you, you'll beat them at that, and you can play them off the park. And I think whenever I've been involved, that's been the best Stokes. That's what we're trying to create. Again, it's not easy because you can't do it in one window either. And again, it's a long project. It's not, and we're not the finished product yet either. And we want to improve constantly. Recruitment team always want to improve. Coaches always want the best players. And my job's being able to pull all that together and provide the coaches and the staff with the best possible players to perform on the pitch.
You talk about the best players coming in. We're talking now at the start of September. If I were to look at your phone battery life now, is it not being plugged in as much? Always
plugged in now, so the phone's carried on going. Yeah, no, look, I had a little joke with Ian on Monday, because we knew where we were at. We knew it was going to be a quiet Monday. I had a little joke and said, come on, January now, what we got? Let's work to next summer. So I'm already looking ahead to, and we are, and I've got to next summer, to January, to see what we can improve. Obviously, the team will settle anyway. I think to do well in this league, you need strength and depth. I think we've created that this summer. I think we've got 24 senior players really, and that one space for a club develop on, and we've got some good players out on loan. But I think we're in a really good place that we can challenge on a lot of fronts, but be able to keep players fresh. And the Championship's going to demand that. It'll come Tuesday and Saturday thick and fast soon. Get into the winter months. It's already gone autumnal now, but get into the winter months, and yeah, we're really happy where we are at the moment.
I spoke to my mate who's a Stoke fan yesterday. I've not spoken to him for a couple of weeks, and the first thing he says to me is, it felt like this time round, more than over recent memory for him, it felt like targets had been identified, and you knew that what places needed to be strengthened, and you went for it to make sure, like you said there, you got that strength in depth. And he said that's what he really notices as a fan.
Yeah, not saying that. No, we've done that every window, but just what's available. It's I Are players available? Are they affordable? Do they want to come? Everything's got to fall to sign a player. So many things have got to fall. It's not just you want a player. You've got to have the budget for it. You've got to be able to entice the player to come in. There's got to be a space for them. There's got to be the coach that wants them, the coach that wants them, recruitment team that rate them. There's a whole host of things that got to go into it. But yeah, I think key was planning it out and having the right processes and plans in place to be able to identify those and get into players early as well, and get into the clubs early and let them know of your interest. Because if you're scrambling around doing a deal on the last day of the window and you're just identifying people, you've done something wrong, in my opinion. I think you should be. That's not to say deals don't get done on the window, but if you're just searching and looking for players, then something's gone wrong. So yeah, to have that planned out, it was strange being quiet, and I think we've had a couple of quiet ones now, but that means you've planned well. So it was a strange one. Not to say nothing was going to happen on the last day. If the right one was there, we would have done something, but it wasn't to be. So I think we knew that quite early on in the day, and then we know what we've got. Yeah, Mark's really happy with where we're at. John's really happy, and going into the Birmingham game when we come back, we've got the majority of them fit. There's only a couple that'll be not far away at all. You know, touch wood, everyone comes back from international break fit and well. We're not far away at all. So you know, it's a problem for the coaches and the manager to have, and it's great. It's a great problem to have.
Yeah, move on to them.
But last year we were struggling for numbers.
Yeah.
Last year we had a time where we were, you know, it's like we've only got that option up front and that on that, and you've got to keep that person fit. It was really difficult. And balancing that, and I think when Mark came in, he had that. It was a case, and at one point we had to bring Nathan back on loan. Nathan had to play. He was our only fit striker. So to be able to have a few different options and versatile players as well, players coming in the building that can play different positions, that's key as well. I think it gives the coaching team that option off the bench to change things, change styles, change formations, change attacking players. It's always the attackers that change, isn't it, more than defenders? But to have that, yeah, it's good. I think we're in a good place with it.
The transfer window in general, one of the things I've always been really interested in is this is what you do this is your job. How does it vary when you're dealing with different countries? Is there like different kind of ways that you have to deal with clubs compared to, say, if you're buying from an English club? Obviously Stoke have been buying from all over the world. How does that change the culture?
Yeah, different cultures, different. Everything's different ways of working, different people you got to speak to at the club. Who you need to identify who you need to speak to at the club, who's the person that's making the decisions, agents, families. Like a lot of work will go on with Ian, our head of recruitment, for example, and the recruitment team in terms of meeting the families, meeting that part of it, understanding what it means to them to move to a country. But yeah, the clubs wise, it's different everywhere. It's still a transaction, it's still a deal to be done, but there's just different ways of working. Every deal's different anyway, but you're always learning. You're always learning how to deal with people or negotiation or problems that arise, and deals you talk about with players or potential deals with players, the amount of things that can go wrong and do go wrong, and how you prepare for them, and how you either deal with them and overcome them, or you can't get past them. And sometimes a decision's got to be made at some point as well, and if it's not the right decision for the football club, you've got to, no matter how emotional or emotionally attached you are or other people are, yeah, you've got to move on quickly. And sometimes I've known at different clubs people get very upset, whether it be a coach, whether it be a head of recruitment, whether it be someone else that's bought the player, and they can get very upset. But what you're trying to create in here, we're all in this together. Whatever it be, we're all in this together. We're all part of the deal, and you bring different people on at different times, whether it be Ryan Shawcross or Mark coming on a call, or Nev or Robes, Darren, goalkeepers. Whether it be the head of recruitment needed, whether we brought Mama in a few times for some French-speaking players, and it's been brilliant. We've had a few different hurdles to overcome. We have, so it's good. It's been interesting, but I like to make sure everyone's involved in it and everyone feels a part of it as well.
You seem really kind of content and satisfied, more than when I've spoken to you in the past about at the end of a transfer window. You seem like you feel really confident with everything that's come in. Is that a fair way to sum it up?
There's always hurdles. I do wish we were in a better place. Yeah, you always want more. You always want more. Yeah, we're really happy with the players we brought in, the squad we've got now. do we want to improve? Yeah, of course we do. We always want to improve. As a player, you know that. You know people are always coming to take your place, and that's football. That's competition, isn't it? But do wish we had Southampton's budget or Ipswich's budget. Of course we do. Or Wrexham's even, for example. Well, they spent over 30 million this year. Of course we do. But you've got to deal with what you've got as well. And I think we've done very well in terms of that, because there's things you're not happy with. For example, Salsa DB going, like, he's an academy product. I'd love Salt to stay and be a part of that, but sometimes you've got to be able to do things to be able to allow you to do other deals and get things over the line. So I don't think the rules help with that, but yeah, you've got to deal with what's in front of you and try and improve the squad for now, but also for the future. I've got my job's long term with the football club, not just now, not just this window. How can we improve next one? What's coming next? How do we shape that so the next time it comes around, that players come to the end of the contracts, or players, there's interest in some players, and are they going to move on, and when do they move on as well? So yeah, it's complex, but your mind's always going. So we're content because the window's shut probably, and it's a little bit calmer now. But now I'm straight on to, obviously I said the next window, but how can we improve things in the club? What else are we doing? We've got a new academy manager in. We've got lots of things going on there. We've got different things that we're trying to do within the club. How are we linking us with the stadium staff as well? All different things. How are we settling the players? How are we getting some psychology into the players, some leadership into a leadership group? How are we helping the coaches? My mind's always thinking, but yeah, glad to get at the end of a window, because it can be disruptive for some teams. It can be disruptive for players, but sometimes players know they're here. We've got new people in the building to integrate. We've got exciting players to integrate as well. Thomas, who's just gone away with the national team, and Lamine, who will be ready to go soon. It's exciting to see, and then when you see that and you see your squad build and see the players play, you know that the hard work's worth it.
We talk about the players that have come into the club. There's obviously quite a few players that have gone out on loan.
Yeah.
Can you talk to me about the kind of idea of how they get looked after, how you monitor their process, how all that works?
Yeah, so obviously Gareth Owen moved into a different role this year. Gareth really helps with that side of it. We've got a number of players out on loan. Obviously you got Tommy, Leyton Orient, Nathan Emre, Darius, Nicola. Yeah, there's a number, but yeah, Gareth will predominantly keep in touch with the players. We all do, but Gareth will predominantly do it. We do a summary of how they're getting on, the minutes they played, and feedback from the coaches, anything. Yeah, we'll go through clips of them and things like that. So
it's not just a case of they go off and then you see them again in a year's time. It feels like they're still involved.
No, there are players. Yeah. So last year we had players come back to train for a few days, and hopefully at some point we'll get the boys back in when we get a chance, because it keeps them knowing that this is the club and they're a part of it, which they are. But also we want to just make sure they're getting looked after properly. Anything they need, we'll speak to the coaches or the managers or whoever's taking them at the club, making sure they're settled in. Do they need anything from us? How are they getting on? Sometimes there'll be players that aren't playing or on the bench, or they've had a bad game, and we support them, and knowing that, as a parent club, we're there to help them, because ultimately we want them back here playing for us and doing well for us. So yeah, there's a big process that goes into that, and you have to go all cross country to watch them. And we always like to have someone watching our players that are out on loan and feedback to the coaches how they're doing as well.
For that point of view, when you've got a player that has gone out on loan and doing really well, what does that mean for the group? Is it like used as inspiration for the academy players? Is that what it's like?
Yeah, absolutely, and that's the whole thing. And sometimes going out and not playing well is just an important loan, because they're still our player, and you have to have bad times as a footballer, and you have to understand what it is to sit on the bench and go through a bad game and getting stick from fans and that side of it. You don't expect them to all go and do well, especially first loans. But yeah, it's important that we use that and show the academy, look, there's a progression, and show players when they come in, especially young players, look, there's a pathway for you, there's a plan behind what we're doing, because it's not just 21s matches, you're in that group, it's actually coming in, being involved in the first team for a little bit, having a bit of training here, going out, having a chance to go on loan, trying to pick the right team if we can. But again, a lot of things have got to fall at the same time for that. But yeah, it's an inspiration for the academy to show, yeah, there's a pathway for players. We want to show that there's a way of getting in the first team, and it's not all players who come through our academy are going to have a career at Stoke City. It's setting them up and being good people having the right values, but then going out and having a career in football as well. Players and staff alike, so we talk about players, but I'm big on the staff as well. And we've got a number of staff that moved on to first team roles. 2 recently, Darren Potter who went to MK Dons and Rich Taylor who went to Peterborough as a goalkeeping coach. So there's a progression for staff as well, and we want to show that it's not just we want them for Stoke City, but we want to develop skills in people that, you know, if it's not Stoke City, you have the chance to go on and play somewhere else, or a chance of a career as well.
I understand you've had a visitor down at Clayton Wood. Do you want to tell me about how
Any
that
visitors?
came? With Kevin coming down to see you?
Yeah, Kevin Sinfield. Yeah, he came in a couple of weeks ago, now. So, best rugby players of all time, isn't he? Leader, currently works in the England setup, and with Steve Borthwick. Great guy, obviously. Did a lot of work with Rob Burrow at the MND, but as a person, what a person, but as a sports person, as a leader, great person. So he came in and spent the day with us and watched a bit of training, sat with a few of us, and we just discussed different ideas and different things they're doing within the England setup as a leadership group and things like that. And again, it's not just players, it's staff getting something out of it, and we want to develop people. So last year we had Damien Hughes came in and did a session with staff. We had Sean Fitzpatrick, who is absolutely legendary All Blacks captain. We had Melvin Downs, who came in, obviously in the SAS for 20 odd years. Generally it's for staff in the building, first team staff, coaching staff, academy staff, everyone. I think everyone's just as important as each other, whether it be the guys that do the kit, whether it be sports scientists, whether it be academy sports scientists, medical. I think everyone takes something out of everyone and has their own view on it. So I don't think it should be restrictive to players or first team staff. I think what we're trying to create here is we're all in it together, and that's what we're trying to do with here and the stadium as well. We are all in it together. So again, that's another thing you're trying to build at a club, and making sure we're all aligned, we're all joined up, and everyone feels valued at the football club. And I think we're getting there. I think we've got that feeling. Certainly it was like that when I was a player, and I didn't feel like that was when I came back, and that's what we're trying to do. So all things like this, I think, help go towards a united, aligned Stoke City.
I can't remember a time when I've seen so many Stoke shirts knocking around Staffordshire. The retro kit obviously has been very popular.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it. Enjoyed seeing that purple one, and it's been it's a good time for the retro shirts to come back. I think that we're at that time, aren't we, where it's a bit of nostalgia. We want to get the team back to have that as well. It's and we feel things are building. We feel that alignment right across the club, as I said, with John, with Mark, with the staff and the football club. Everything we're trying to build, but the connection with fans and the community. It's not just a football club that produces on the pitch. For me, it's a club that looks after its community and looks after its own and feels a part of it. So you probably see different things where we help people you probably don't get to see a lot, but we want to make sure that, you know, if you're a supporter of Stoke and you're going through a tough time, we'll help you, but we're all together on the pitch. And when we come to that stadium, that's like our temple, our cathedral, isn't it, where we come and we're all together and we're in unity, and we want that back at the club. I feel like it's building. I think we're nearly there. Can't wait till we have sold out stadiums again, and we're not far away. But we've got to produce on the pitch to do that. We've had a really good start, but we're all in it together. The manager said it in the club's motto. United strength is stronger, without a shadow of a doubt. And we're all in it together, and we're going to go through some tough times. You're not always going to win. You're not always going to have 3 wins out of 4. It'd be great if we did. But there'll be difficult times in the course of the season, and that backing that the fans give us and know when you're driving around, when you're walking around, and there's a little run club here. When we run around the streets, we got the backing of the fans, and we feel that. So I think it's important for the staff to feel that, the players to feel that, but likewise, I feel it's important for the fans to feel a part of the football club, and that is one big thing. It's so important to me.